hate history. I mean, why do we need to study things that already happened? Here we go. Women reformers also fought for the right to vote, or suffrage. Elizabeth Cady Stanton and Susan B. Anthony founded the National American Women Suffrage Association in 1890 to get women the vote. That same year, women gained the right to vote in Wyoming. Colorado, Idaho, and Utah followed in the 1890s. Carrie Chapman Catt had fought successfully for women's suffrage in the West. After becoming president of the NAWSA in 1900, she mobilized more than 1 million volunteers for the movement. She argued that women should have a voice in creating laws that affected them.
People refer to me as the mother of clubs, and I want to tell you why women's clubs are so important to the passage of the California Women's Rights. My name is Caroline Seymour Sevens. I lived in Boston, Massachusetts during the early years of my marriage, and I founded the Equal Rights Association, where women came to me and discussed social issues, literature, and art, as well as direct their efforts towards the betterment of society. Women always had the intellect, and now we had a place to display it. And those Boston Club women did more than listen and talk. They were the force behind the first school law that allowed women to be elected to the Boston School Board. And when that door opened, the door to all the public institutions flew open. Club One in Boston helped start a kindergarten system, promoted higher education for young women, raised and awarded scholarship money, and started the Girls' Land schools. I was an activist for the social reform when I lived in Boston with my friend Susan B. Anthony. I attended many national and regional women's rights conventions. And in 1866, we started the Equal Rights Association. And I helped found the American Women Suffrage Association in 1869.
My husband and I moved to Los Angeles in 1875 for health reasons, and I decided to bring my beliefs in the importance of women's clubs with me. At first, I didn't like Los Angeles after living in Boston. It seemed like a small, dusty town. But I decided to bring my beliefs and meet some like-minded women, so I started 3 women's clubs. The largest one, the Friday Morning Club, was the center of social reform efforts for the city and had over 1,000 women members. These women gave classes, had an employment bureau, and a small lending library. Club women studied issues and helped bring solutions to the city. We helped to bring the Free Kindergarten Association to Los Angeles and also helped to establish the Free Public Library of Los Angeles. Although age and infirmity have limited my role in this 1911 campaign, the thousands of California club women throughout the state have become a marching army of suffragists. They're the ones speaking on street corners, canvassing neighborhoods, raising money for the amendment, and ensuring a yes vote from their husbands, sons, and male friends. When women win the vote this October, they will then be able to register to vote, as I will. I'm 91 years old. If I live to 1912, I'll be able to register to vote for the first time in my life. And it's about time. I've been working for women's suffrage for more than 60 years.
People often ask me how a young woman from a wealthy San Francisco family got involved with unions and women's suffrage. My parents sent me to the best private schools, and I took many trips to the East Coast. When I was finished with school, my parents wanted me to tour Europe, so I went to New York to take an ocean liner. But instead of saying bon voyage, I stayed in New York. My name is Maud Younger. For 5 years, I worked in the New York Settlement House, where I met many social reformers. I tutored poor immigrant women to learn English and survival skills needed for life in the slums. From my experiences of working with the immigrant poor taught me the importance of being politically active, especially that women needed the vote. The first thing I did when I got back to San Francisco was establish the city's first women's waitresses union. Men waiters had a union but did not allow women to join. My experiences as a waitress drove me to lobby hard at an 8-hour workday law and that wages and food and working conditions needed to be regulated. I always wear my union button, whether on an evening gown or on a runabout. People call me the millionaire waitress. But that wasn't all. I encourage all working women and union members to join the California suffrage campaign. I speak at union halls, and I recently published a pamphlet called Why Wage Earning Women Should Vote. My writings are aimed towards the working class voters. Because I work with the labor unions, I'll be driving to the Wage Earners Equals Suffrage League's vote down Market Street in the San Francisco 1911 Labor Day Parade. It'll be drawn by 6 white horses with working class women holding suffrage banners. When on October 10th, 2011, when we are successful in passing the Women's Suffrage Amendment, California's working class women will have the voice in making the laws that are essential to them. After that win, it'll be on to Washington, D.C. to be the legislative branch of the National Women's Party, to help get the vote for every woman in the United States. I believe that to no class of people is about so essential as to the women who work for wages. The objection so often heard that the woman's sphere is the home cannot be urged upon the women who must go out into the world and work alongside these men just to preserve that home. And the greater burdens of the industrial world fall upon her and her children. Those who are weakest work the longest and for the lowest wages.
When the California's Women's Rights Amendment passes on October 10th, it'll be the greatest day of my life. West Coast suffragists created a banner with a star for each state where women had won their right to vote. I have been working to put California's name on that 6th star of the suffrage banner for 20 years. I am Selena Solomons. My father came to California as a gold rusher, and he and my mother were married in San Francisco, where I was born, the eldest of 5 children. I am a writer. My sister Adele is a medical doctor. My brother Theodore is an explorer and has mapped much of the Sierras with his friend John Muir. And my brothers Lucius and Leon are academics. I tell you this not to brag, but to let you imagine how lively our dinner conversations were in our home. As a suffragist, I was involved in many aspects of campaign for the votes for women in 1896 and made my first public speech at the Golden Gate Hall. Many famous suffragists came to the first campaign, but it ended in defeat. The men of San Francisco, the largest county, had voted no. But now it's 1911, and we have another chance at persuading the men of San Francisco to give us the vote. I am the president of the San Francisco Votes for Women Club and a political organizer.
As important as meetings and speech making are right now, the job I feel most important about is running a restaurant. Let me tell you how lunch and tea are winning us the vote. I believe that suffrage clubs should be open to everyone, from all classes in society. At my own expense, I have rented a large loft in the retail district of San Francisco at 315 Sutter Street. The space has a restroom, a reading room, a serving room, and a kitchen. For 5 cents on a typical day, you can choose from 4 types of soups, clam chowder, tomato, potato, chicken noodle, 5 kinds of salads, fried sand dabs, creamed codfish, and homemade cakes. Our customers are women shoppers, sales girls, and also men. It is my belief that the girl who comes to eat stays to read and talk, and from 4 to 5 p.m. we are served an afternoon tea. More than food, we offer nourishment of the possibility of voting equality. I also organize groups of women to walk local districts in San Francisco. Women going from our dining room to the streets of San Francisco lobbying for the vote. On Election Day, we will have 1,000 women in all the polling places of San Francisco to make sure there aren't any fraudulent votes. And when it is won, we will have the last and best of all suffrage banquets. Since I love to write, I intend to tell the story of this campaign. The plays, poems, speeches, lobbying, fundraising, arm-twisting efforts of California women. And most importantly, I will list all the names of the hundreds of men and women who worked for the success of this amendment. It will be a first-hand account of this history-making event, how we won the vote in California. Finally, a 6th star will be added to the suffrage banner.
Wow, I can't believe that 100 years ago women couldn't vote. That's totally wrong.
Martha, can we play Barbies now?
Maybe later, Mackenzie. Hey, check this out. Did you know that 100 years ago, women couldn't vote?
No, I didn't.
Well, these girls named Caroline, Maud, and Selena fought for us. And now, here in California, we, women, can vote.
Wow, that's cool.
Hey, wait, what are these?
I don't know.
It says, it's a man's world unless women vote.
It's a man's world unless women vote.